Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're cutting through the noise on a topic really shaping our future, renewable energy.
It's everywhere in the news, isn't it?
Absolutely. So we'll unpack why it's so vital, look at the groundbreaking progress happening in India specifically, and also the opportunities it's creating for all of us, really.
Right.
Our goal here is to sift through the latest insights, get you the most important takeaways.
Give you that sharp edge.
Exactly. A
Yeah.
shortcut to being really informed on this. Okay, let's unpack this. So we kind of get the basic idea, right?
Right.
Renewable energy power from nature.
Yeah, sun, wind, water.
But what's really interesting now, I think, is how the conversation's moved on. It's not just if it works.
No, it's how it's actually changing everything, the whole energy landscape.
Globally, yeah. But especially, like you said, in nations like India.
What's fascinating here is how these sources, you mentioned sun, wind, water, also biomass, they're always available, right?
Yeah.
Continuously.
Right.
And they aren't just cleaner, though that's huge. It's a whole paradigm shift.
Okay, explain that a bit more. Paradigm shift how?
Well, think about traditional sources. Coal, oil, they run out.
Finite, yeah.
And they pollute, obviously. Plus, their prices, they can be really volatile. Renewables offer something different.
Which is?
Energy security, environmental stability. It's not just swapping fuel types. It's building a fundamentally different, more resilient energy system from the ground up.
That's a very clear contrast. It really highlights the urgency, I guess,
Yeah.
and the scale of it all. But when we talk about unlimited sources, are there catches? Any, less obvious challenges when you try to harness these things on a massive scale?
That's a really excellent point because, yes, the fuel, the sunlight, the wind, it's unlimited, but it's not always there when you need it. Intermittency, that's the key challenge.
Right. The sun doesn't always shine.
Exactly, and the wind doesn't always blow. So that pushes innovation, in things like battery storage, smarter grids, better weather forecasting.
Make sure the power delivery stays stable.
Precisely. So unlimited fuel comes with its own set of pretty fascinating engineering puzzles to solve.
Got it.
Well.
Okay. So it's easy to get caught up in the big picture, the grids and gigawatts. But a lot of people listening are probably thinking, okay, how does this actually affect me, my home right now?
Yeah, bringing it down to the personal level.
This is where it gets really interesting, I think, where the rubber meets the road. It offers some really tangible benefits.
Absolutely. And the most common example, solar rooftop systems.
Right. You see them popping up more and more.
Yeah. And beyond just saving money on your electricity bill, which is, let's be honest, a major draw.
Of course.
It actually empowers you, the homeowner.
Yeah.
You become what some people call a prosumer.
Prosumer. Producer and consumer.
Exactly. You're generating some of your own electricity. And in many areas, there are policies like net metering.
Okay. What's that?
That lets you sell any extra electricity you generate, maybe during the middle of a sunny day, back to the grid.
Oh, wow. So your house becomes like a mini power plant.
In a way, yeah. It fundamentally changes your relationship with energy, gives you more control, and, a direct part to play in this whole transition.
So it's not just about saving cash then. It's also about energy independence, maybe,
Yeah.
and actually contributing back.
That's a big part of it, for sure.
Does that also sort of spark local businesses, like people installing these things, maintaining them?
Precisely. The growth in rooftop solar definitely fuels a whole local industry. You've got installers, technicians, energy consultants. It decentralizes a piece of the energy system, creates jobs locally, and often makes the community's energy supply a bit more resilient, too.
That's amazing how it scales like that, from personal empowerment right up to potentially transforming a whole nation's energy system.
It really connects.
So, okay, shifting gears then. From individual rooftops, how is India tackling this on that truly monumental national scale?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, India has set a frankly incredibly ambitious target to hit 500 gigawatts of renewable energy generation capacity by 2030.
500 gigawatts. Can you put that in perspective for us?
It's huge. Think of it like adding the capacity of a new large conventional power plant every single month, roughly for the next 7 years or so.
Wow. Okay. That is monumental, as you said.
It's designed to fundamentally decarbonize a really significant chunk of their energy mix. A massive undertaking.
Just staggering ambition. So what are the key strategies? What's the government actually doing to try and hit that colossal goal?
Well, there are several key initiatives rolled out to support this. Of course, there are subsidies, to encourage people and businesses to adopt renewables. But on the large scale, they're developing these huge solar parks.
So not just scattered panels, but dedicated zones.
Exactly. Sprawling industrial zones purely for solar power. It allows for massive efficiencies, land use, grid connection, everything.
Okay.
And at the same time, they're building what they call green energy corridors.
Green energy corridors. Sounds important.
They are. Think of them as specialized superhighways for electricity. High voltage transmission lines.
Purpose-built?
Purpose-built, yeah. Designed specifically to carry huge amounts of renewable power, often from remote areas where you might have, say, giant wind farms or these massive solar parks.
Right, where the resources are best.
And carry that power efficiently to the big cities and industrial areas where it's needed most. Often using smart grid tech, too, to handle that variability we talked about.
That's a fantastic explanation of the infrastructure needed. It paints a real picture.
Mm-hmm.
But with targets that ambitious and projects this complex, what do you see as maybe the single biggest hurdle India faces beyond just the initial cost?
That's a tough question. There are several. But a really significant challenge lies in modernizing the grid itself and managing that intermittency, but on a vast national scale.
The intermittency issue again, but bigger.
Much bigger. Making sure the existing grid can actually handle these huge fluctuating inputs of power from wind and solar while keeping everything stable, that requires enormous upgrades.
And technology.
Lots of smart technology integration, yes. And critically, large-scale energy storage solutions. Batteries, potentially other forms, too. It's a massive orchestration challenge, really.
Okay. Wow. So we've really covered a lot of ground from, the basic definition of renewable energy and how it hits home for individuals.
Right. The rooftop solar example.
All the way up to India's truly breathtaking vision on the global energy stage.
It's quite the journey.
It really is. And it's clear this isn't just some passing trend, is it? It's a fundamental shift. It's digging deep into economies, environments, even our daily lives.
Absolutely. And if I could leave you, the listener, with one core message, it's this. The push for renewable energy, it's not just an environmental nice-to-have. It's really a foundational investment.
An investment in?
In future resilience, in prosperity, adopting it, supporting it, even just understanding it. These actions are laying the groundwork for the well-being of generations to come. It's about ensuring a cleaner, yes, but also a more secure energy future for everyone.
A powerful message. And as you, listening, consider that future, maybe reflect on this. As renewable energy stops being just an ambition and becomes, the everyday norm, what surprising changes might we actually see? Changes in our cities, our economies, maybe even our global relationships. How is this huge shift going to redefine our world in ways we probably can't even quite imagine today?